it has been a while since my last thrift with me, so today we have lots to catch up on. In this video, we're hitting up all the local thrift stores, and I have to say I've needed a lot of self-control lately because I've been finding so many great things. I'll be showing you everything I've gathered over the past little bit, along with a few items I'm saving for closer to Christmas and future projects. If you're familiar with my channel, you know I love sharing thrift tips as well as styling ideas, plus the different ways I style each item I bring home. So without further ado, let's go thrifting.
Okay, so here we are at Habitat for Humanity, and I actually did this trip a few weeks ago, back when they had all their fall stuff right up front. I'll admit I was a little disappointed because the seasonal items were still priced pretty close to retail. That being said, most thrift stores and regular stores are doing huge markdowns on fall decor right now, so it's a great time to grab a few pieces if you happen to be out shopping. What I really love about Habitat for Humanity is that they always have larger fixtures and appliances, which you don't usually see at regular thrift stores. I really like this modern farmhouse style chandelier, and it kind of reminded me of the one we have at home. Places like Pottery Barn and West Elm have almost identical styles right now, and $60 for this is such a steal considering they usually retail for hundreds. There were also tons of these pretty little dishes, and I love using them for things like jewelry or little soaps. They're just so handy. Okay, now this was such a nice surprise. There were 4 of these Angelo candles just waiting to be taken. These guys were originally from HomeSense and retailed for $12.99, but here they were only $2 each. I only grabbed the one, but I'm kind of wishing I picked up all of them because how cute would they be as little gifts or stocking stuffers? Sculptural decor is one of my favorite ways to bring a moody yet timeless feel to a space, and for this first look, I'm featuring it on our new mantle. I'm loving how it looks with the mix of collected vintage pieces, and I think everything just gives off a really cozy old world charm that's so timeless. Moving into the furniture section, the first thing I noticed was this faux Shearling chair for $90. It's actually called the Pallas lounge chair, and I found it on the Rove concept site for over $1,200. Studio McGee currently has a similar one in the same color, and I love the warm textural element it adds to the room. We don't have the space for it right now, otherwise it would have been an easy grab, especially since it was in such great condition. I also loved the look of this one. Brown leather is such a classic statement, and nail head detailing is definitely making a comeback. Similar chairs can easily run into the thousands when you buy them brand new. The same style at Pottery Barn is going for $3,500, which is crazy compared to this one here for just $200. I think something like this would be especially perfect in a moody at-home library or den. I really wish we had the space for it, but I'm sure whoever snagged it got super lucky with this one. Something I do have the space for is this adorable mahogany table, and I'd actually been on the lookout for something this exact size for our living room. It kind of has that plant stand look, but I love that it still has a bit of storage and the shape works so well for displaying multiple items. I haven't seen this style of table recently, but I did find some similar looking ones online going for hundreds and even thousands of dollars, which to me is crazy. Now, I don't know the maker of this one beyond the partial label, so I'm not sure how antique it is compared to the ones online, but I was really happy to get it for $40. I love how it looks in our living room, and I think its lightweight nature really balances out our heavier furniture, giving the space an airy yet warm feel. I also think it would make a really cute side table for something like a guest bedroom or even a small entryway table if you're tight on space. Okay, moving over to Value Village. This one is always a hit or miss for me, but the past couple of visits I've been pretty lucky. I had to do a double take here, but I'm pretty sure this is a real authentic vintage mustard jar. This was a staple in French country kitchens, and I've only ever seen this type of jar at the antique shops. Today they can sell for upwards of $25, and there must be a real market for these because I even found this one that's the same dimensions and everything listed for $499. I'm just thankful I found it here because it definitely would have been a lot more at an antique shop. The first thing I thought of for this was using it as a cutlery holder on our island, but honestly, it would be perfect for so many little things like pens or makeup brushes. It's such a versatile piece. Now, I've never actually noticed these until recently, but I've been seeing tons of these really cute ornate clocks, and I'm kind of obsessed. I especially love the ones with Roman numerals. They just have an elegant look and a timeless character that's so unique. I'm having a bit of buyer's remorse for not grabbing this one, but I don't know, $13.99 felt a little steep for what I wanted to spend. Either way, I think it would look so cute styled on a mantle or even layered onto a bookshelf. Looking online, it seems like similar style clocks can go for a lot more, but I still think some of these prices were a little high, especially since many of them also didn't come with the batteries. Let me know if you guys agree or if you think I should have grabbed this one, because I was definitely tempted. Alright, on to the bag section. Always one of the biggest hit or miss spots, but one of the most fun areas to dig through. I found some amazing deals on bulk items here, and then other times there's only one or two things really worth grabbing. Still, it's always good to check because you never know what goodies could be hiding. And speaking of hiding, I almost missed these solid brass candle holders tucked in with all these tea lights, which I also needed to stock up on, so it was perfect. One of them had a huge buildup of wax, but that's such an easy fix. When I got home, I popped them in the freezer and the larger chunks came right off just like that. You can also use boiling water, which I personally found to be easier and quicker. As you can see with this other one, the wax is just melting right off. For this first look, I'm styling them on our mantle, and the best part is that every single piece here is thrifted. It's got that moody cottage vibe I love, and I think this might be one of my favorite setups yet. I also dressed them up on our dining credenza, and they're just such a staple piece that can be styled just about anywhere. Speaking of brass, I was so tempted when I found these beautiful patinaed lampstands for $9 each. I rarely ever come across matching pairs at the thrift store. I think they could look so beautiful with the right shade, and I also loved how heavy they were. Similar lampstands can go for a lot, and I actually thought this pair looked nicer than some of the more expensive ones online. I was thinking they might be perfect for our guest bedroom once it's done, but since we don't have the rest of our stuff picked out, I didn't want to risk buying them too early and having them not match the final look, but they are so stunning. Pillows are always a hit or miss, but one thing I'll say is that the prices are usually pretty reasonable. I've in fact thrifted about 90% of my throw pillows at the thrift store, and this one has to be one of my favorites. It's originally from Dala Decor and even featured on their Instagram. Now I couldn't find the original price, but either way, this was an insane steal for only $10.79 considering what their average pillows go for. I also found this other one for only $4.29, and I thought it would pair perfectly. Designers like Studio McGee and stores like Pottery Barn have been featuring tons of this velvet look with these deep moody colors, which I think is perfect for this time of year. I love how both these pillows are choppable, and I had so much fun playing around with different combinations in my living room. They can be paired with so many different colors, and I just love them. Next stop is the Salvation Army, and it's one of my favorites because there's no tax. As soon as I walked in, I saw this gorgeous blue and white floral crock right up front. It reminds me of those really expensive French stoneware crocks, and you all know I'm a sucker for anything blue and white. Something like this would be perfect on a kitchen shelf with some wooden spoons in it, or even styled with some florals. I'm really kicking myself for not grabbing this, and I even went back the next day, but of course it was gone. I'm just praying the thrift gods bless me with another one in the future because I will not be making that same mistake ever again. Luckily, something I didn't pass up was this beautiful vintage looking wooden frame. I think it would look perfect mixed into a gallery wall, and it even had all the backings attached and ready to go. I've seen beautiful examples of how this can look, and for $1.99 I thought it was a steal. I'm planning a little DIY with it in a future video, and I'd love to hear your ideas. Let me know in the comments what you think I should do with it. These little foldable holders are always so handy for displaying things like plates or pictures. I was surprised to find out they're actually not cheap if you buy them new, so finding a set of 4 for just $2.99 felt like such a good deal. And speaking of displaying pictures, the frame section was full of gems. If you can find good quality frames that already have the mat in them, they're definitely worth grabbing. This one was in pretty decent condition, and it's similar to some I already have from the same store. Pottery Barn sells a comparable frame for $44 without the mat, so I'd say this was a pretty lucky find for just $3.99. How cute is this set of 2 bird prints for just $3.99 each? The wood frames and oval mats give them such a timeless vintage charm, and I love that they came as a set. I've put these guys on just about every wall in my home because I absolutely adore them. They bring a warm softness to every space, and there's something about them that just feels so inviting and homey. Okay, I instantly recognized this seagrass basket because I actually almost bought it about a month ago at EQ3. They're selling it for $24.99, but thank goodness I took my chances and waited. This one was only $4.99, so I was able to save 75%. The styling options with a basket like this are endless. It can really elevate the look of throw blankets, books, or magazines, and one of my go-to looks is adding in some florals. I just love the texture and warmth it adds. It's so pretty and has such a feminine feel. Okay, our last stop is the Mission thrift store, and on this day it was 50% off red tag items. I find the prices here to be some of the most reasonable out of all of our local thrift stores, and the markdown on some of their red tag items was absolutely insane. This stool would have only been $2 with the discount, which is close to free in my opinion. Okay, this next one honestly blew my mind. There was the sweetest little glass lamp just sparkling away on the top shelf, and I couldn't believe it was only $5.99. I was amazed to see what these actually retail for. Most are selling for well over $100, and this is an example of those vintage items you usually only come across at the antique shops. Now the tag did say it was tested, but it's always good to double check with lamps just to be safe. This might be my favorite thrifted lamp ever. It has so much charm and character, and I wish there were more of these because I'm loving how it looks in literally every spot I try it. Let me know where you think it looks best. I must have been on a lamp streak because just at the end of the shelf, I spotted this beautiful beaded lamp for only $7.99. It's originally from IKEA, but crazy enough, it's now considered vintage from before the year 2000, which is kind of weird to think about. I found two of the same lamp bases listed online for $80, and this exact same one with the shade included is going for over $100. The beaded look is such a big trend right now, and Studio McGee has been featuring tons of pieces in this style. I ended up pairing it with a lampshade I thrifted a while back, and I think it gives the whole lamp a fresh, modern lift. This lovely stone mortar and pestle was red tagged, making it only $4. I love finding pieces like this that are not only pretty but also practical. Whether you're mixing dips, grinding spices, or just leaving it out on display, it adds that earthy touch that makes a kitchen feel warm and inviting. We're planning to add some built-in shelves in our dining room, so I definitely plan to leave this out on display even when it's not in use. On the note of kitchenware, I couldn't resist these adorable red stripe plates that came with matching mugs. They have this slightly nautical look to them, which I love, and I have a feeling they might just make an appearance on my Christmas table this year. And speaking of Christmas, I've also been thrifting some great candles, all brand new and still wrapped in plastic. I'll be sharing more of my Christmas finds in an upcoming video, but I love getting a head start. A bunch of you also voted for a Christmas DIY for my next video, so don't worry, that's also on its way.
Those of you that voted for this video, I just want to thank you, and I'll be doing another poll soon, so make sure to keep an eye out. I'd love to hear your thoughts on all of today's finds, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Have an amazing week, and I can't wait to see you in my next one.